You ever wonder if all of these companies, businesses, organizations ever got audited? How much was ever mm, given, or how much was really given out the way it's supposed to be? Because how some companies, the very top gets paid the biggest, and those that truly did put in the work get like a $5 bill, at the end for Christmas and shit, just to say good type of shit. And it's like we really gotta wonder, how much truly owed from the system to the people just because uh, how some people really just want to change it up, because it benefits them a lot more than it does the people that it's supposed to be help. You gotta look at how deep we are in debt. Debt. There's still starving people. Gotta wonder, what the whole thing is really about when they give you the crumbs, yet they know exactly who the bakers are. They just go into motherfuckers' kitchens and shit and taking cakes and then slicing them up and asking motherfuckers to pay for it. Yet they're only giving 10 cents a slice to the motherfucking actual baker, but they taking all the fucking cash because they gotta take away how much it costs them to fucking take it from your kitchen to their house. They gotta charge you for the knife that they use, even though you have a knife in your own kitchen with your cake on your counter. Now they gotta charge you for the paper plate, that they giving people the slices with. They gotta charge you for the little fancy triangle slice, the little containers. You gotta pay for the fancy shit now. You got to pay for the advertising. You got to pay for the promotion. You got to pay for the marketing. For the cake that they took off your motherfucking counter, you know? And they will harass you and bother you until they get the recipe and fucking how many strokes you sat up there and mixed that fucking cake in order for it to be just so fluff. They don't know that part. They just know that it's a tiring and exhausting feat to go from their house to your house every time you. And they running out of excuses as to why they can only give you 10 cents for the cake that they keep taking from you and slicing them bitches up real thin, coming up with fancies of fucking containers, the fancies of advertisements and marketing. They got people speaking. The cake is delicious, but they ain't never telling nobody who the fucking chef is, who the baker of the cake is. Because the facade that they put up is so damn nice that everybody will really be shocked as to where the cake really came from. You know? They're not gonna tell nobody that they took all that time to fucking climb up through your windows and measle themselves into the kitchen with nobody seeing to take a whole cake from you and want to blame you and call you crazy for knowing that's your motherfucking cake because your cake is gone from your counter. But they can't get that flavor. They can't get that fluffiness. They can't remake that cake on their own. They gotta wait for you to make a cake time. They want you confused as to why your cake always missing from your counter every time you finish baking that bitch. That's what they want. But when you stop making a cake, you gotta wonder. Now they gotta come up with a fucking lie as to why fucking this fabulous cake ain't made no more. Why? And why? What's going on? Where's the cake? There's no fucking cake because you caught on. Some motherfuckers is really robbing you of your motherfucking cake and shit. They ain't need to bake no more. Let them come up with their own fucking version. That's when those people because they gotta come up with an excuse. What happened to the baker? What happened to the flavor? What happened to that zhuzh in that cake? This don't taste like it no more. It's kind of some people just want you to believe in the fake and the fun, all because that's what they're used to. That's what they're comfortable with. So they want you to taste that cardboard cake. They want you to love that cardboard cake just because it's hard to tell the truth when who is the actual baker of the. They used to giving away the crumbs to, let you know that cake was fabulous, but they could only afford this much to give you. Because you just imagine how much is owed back to the fucking country or to the of the country if every motherfucker was actually audited. I don't wonder where all the cakes really came from if all they're just packaging and marketing, promoting. But nobody ever sees the actual labor put in mixing and finding the ingredients and mixing the cake and decorating the cake in front of people. It's always getting on the counter already, pretty. before they pre-slice, before they slice it and hand it off to people. You really got to wonder about audits when it comes to owing and divvying out for this real purpose. Like, are people really that cake because they love the cake? No, sometimes it is taken and sliced up on purpose because it benefits them from the actual good. Know what the most I got you. Have a good one. Morning, babe. Oh crap. But you know, I guess I can parse from my own set. Right? I actually got another card too. Here's my personal. This is a good idea today. Gotta wonder really for real when it comes to the audits and debt in this country, right? Where is it? Who are we actually owing? And at the same time, why are we all, why is most of a good amount still starving? You gotta wonder if the front really is to hold up the facade, all because of the fact that it benefits more people than it benefits those that, it's like the money washes itself. Hands washing its hands, but at the same time, nobody's supposed to know that the hands are dirty. Crazy as shit. Or the motherfucking table. Motherfucking table. Mm. Seek who you want to eat with you. Leave a pitcher of water at the door. And that actually goes with never be codependent on others' love for you, love on yourself. But that's it. I just really had that on my mind as to what would happen if monies were divvied out as they're supposed to, if an audit was supposed to happen, or if an audit happens. Your energy, be the spark you needed. It's not predictable if your intuition already told you. Right, so all these things line up. I'll probably just do these later. They return when you're healing. Same scenario, same emotion, same test. Keep going. It actually goes with what's back there that you gotta run back to. Right? Some folk think some folk think you're as slow as their thoughts. Mhm. Some folk think you're as slow as your thoughts and you wouldn't join. Just because you have the time doesn't mean that you always will. Yo, I'm gonna do this another time. This is lining up the way I've always, when I actually speak, right? When I post a video, it's just me thinking. I write cards, I've been posting like forever. So for cards that I made up to line up with the other cards that I just like cards, the shit is retarded. Well, it's kind of linking up to what more than likely everybody is really going through. And these are just lessons they expelling. Lessons, damn. Lessons learned. Reset, realign, refocus. Remind the mind to keep it moving. New tools, new rules. Keep it love. And then it stays. Sometimes you will overexert. Sometimes you will be overexerted. Your kindness. Don't feel bad. Fuck 'em. Keep it moving. I need an overhead cam so that when I do, is that you can see it. You're a what? You're a kid. You're a what? People will despise you for being secure on your own. You're okay with your own time. You're okay with just being alone. You could do a lot of shit with being alone. You could do way more things on your own than you can with really will not only drag you, but stall you too. Some people are just meant to keep you on a standstill because they still got shit going on and they need a buddy to stay there with them and stand there with them or just to be there with them overall. For a kid, my show is not for kids 18 and under. So I'm gonna do your parents a good deed and just channel, okay, babe? And FUMU is what? I don't understand that. Don't take it personal that I removed you from channel too. But yeah, that's it. I've already posted on there that I have a couple of it that I wouldn't mind dissecting, right? And we do a Q&A. But overall, inhale, exhale, take your time, make more time for you. Is it really overthinking if you're or intuition? So, damn, this shit really lining up. But yeah, anyways, later.